Unique is who you are, and baby, you're a surefire superstar. And I keep looking, this little thing is all I find. So boy, I animal, I you. Boy, I you.
This week on ATP Uncovered, we look ahead to 2019. Thomas Burdick and Borna Coric take us through their off-season training regimes. And Alex de Minaur takes us back to where it all began. Welcome to the new look ATP Tour.
Let's get this season started.
If 2018 was anything to go by, we're in for another stellar season.
Roger Federer wins in Rotterdam.
Hey, you guys know what Francis Tiafoe is? Well, that's me.
Monte Carlo. Alexander Zverev sweeps all before him in Madrid.
Coric is the champion in Halle.
History is made in Cincinnati.
It's not even 10 a.m. and we've had today's show. It was quite exciting.
Novak Djokovic is the champion.
Victory for Dominic Thiem.
Kevin Anderson is the champion in Vienna.
He's done it. Federer is the champion in Basel.
Oh, he's got it.
Khachanov is the champion in Bercy.
For 22-year-old Borna Coric, 2018 was a breakthrough season.
This year, it's been the most consistent year of my whole life with, few peaks. 2 tournaments of the Indian Wells and Miami, which got me through. That was my breakthrough of the year, I think. With that, I came into top 30, I think, and I started to be seeded on some tournaments, and it was just a little bit easier for me.
It's Coric who makes the semi-finals here in Indian Wells. Victory for Borna Coric here in Miami.
I came to Halle, I didn't expect to win a round, to be honest, because I never played good on the grass. So I didn't know what to expect. I was a little bit lucky in some moments of the tournament. And then just the final came, and I was playing the best tennis of my life, like I always do against Roger.
It is fantastic stuff from Borna Coric.
And yeah, I won.
A major breakthrough. He's beaten the #1 in the world. What a tournament, what a win.
I think third peak of my year, which was Shanghai. I didn't expect it. It was definitely a surprise. But as the tournament went on, I was playing better and better. I don't know how, to be honest, but it happened, and it was one of those peaks, and also definitely one of the best memories of my whole life.
What a stunning way to seal it. Borna Coric moves into the first Masters 1000 final of his career. Tremendous character shown by Borna Coric. Novak Djokovic is the Rolex Shanghai Masters champion. Sensational week.
Of the singles of the
It's been a
tournament.
brilliant season for the young Croatian.
I played many tennis in the last 4 months. So I need to work on some more specific things. Yeah, I think it's going to be very beneficial in this 3.5 weeks. I'm going to have 25 days of the preparation, so yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. I think first 1.5 or 2 weeks it's going to be more fitness. We're going to focus more on the fitness. I play 1.5 hours of the tennis, which is not a lot, obviously, and I do maybe 2.5 or 3 hours of the gym because I played many matches. On the things which we're working in the tennis-wise, it's pretty much everything. I think we are working on the every shot. We saw some things which I can improve, and now we are doing it on the practice. I haven't set the goals, but obviously, I'm assuming it's going to be top 10. That's what we're going to set for it, and also to improve in my game. I'm still very young. We see many improvements which I can do, so we're going to try to do that, and I think ranking is going to follow on that. Obviously, now I came from number 48 to number 12, so it's been working very good, and then hopefully next year it can only get better.
Good luck.
A professional since 2002, Thomas Berdych has lit up the game for the past 16 years. In 2018, the former world number 4 faced a new challenge though. A serious back injury had meant time away from the game and forced him to consider his future.
It starts quite a while ago, and at the Queen's tournament I just said no, I cannot go anymore.
And what a match point. And for Thomas Berdych, another defeat. Hard-fought battle, but one that eventually went the Frenchman's way.
My body said, now I need rest, I need to take care of it. And I did all the tests, I did all the medical things that I had to do, and I was very, very lucky that I don't have to do any surgeries, which was very good for me. Basically, I start to train around mid of October, and since then I'm feeling good. I can load up, and everything is going well. So I'm very happy with that. I'm seeing it as a big challenge ahead of me, because in my career I never experienced it. So after 15-16 season, I'm really looking forward to something new and some new situations. So exciting times coming up. When I remember my first steps on the court, starting to serve when the shoulder and everything was quite stiff, my serve was like throwing the ball by hand, it was very slow. And then in 2 weeks, then I can serve properly, and then you're like, wow, what a difference.
Hard work is making that difference. 2019 will see Berdych return to action. And during the finishing touches to his recovery at home in Monte Carlo, no stone is being left unturned.
This is a great club, and I'm glad that this place is here with all the facility and everything, so convenient. It has a great restaurant as well, which is also a big part of the preparation, because when you take care of the food, it's very important to eat well. So that's all on one place. You can do also the recovery here. I'm very glad that this club 39 is here. It exists, and we can actually use it, because it's a big help for us. And yeah, it's going smooth.
After the best season of his career, Alex de Minaur went back to Sydney, where it all began.
This is Dominic, my big brother.
We don't get to see him very often, given his hectic schedule and being around, and the last time I saw him was down at the Australian Open, so while we talk and message each other, it's great to have him home and spend a bit of time with him.
Oh, it's very special, because I don't get to come here as often as I would like to, and to be able to just come back and just be able to spend quality time with the family, it's something that you really miss when you're out there on the tour and travelling overseas so much.
He doesn't have a whole lot of dirt. He's a good kid.
Yes. Keep it going.
Although I say that, he's a man now. Maybe when he was little, he was a little bit cheeky, but and maybe a little bit still today. But he's a good kid, and it's always wonderful to have him around. So what tournaments you got next?
Oh, I'm starting off Brisbane, then going to Sydney and Aussie Open.
What are you looking forward to the most?
Probably coming back to Sydney.
Yeah.
It was fun last year playing in front of family and friends and stuff.
Take it one step further.
Oh, that would be nice.
Title.
I can't wait to hear you yell out and lose your voice like last year.
Yeah, no problems. I'll give it my all.
Well, here we are. This is the house that I grew up in. It brings back a lot of memories. It's definitely changed a lot from when I used to live here about 15 years ago, and it's amazing to be back. Well, there's a couple of things that I had forgotten, but have come straight back to me just by being here for like 5 minutes, and it's pretty much where it all started. Right there inside that garage, that's where I first started hitting tennis balls against the wall. I mean, there's just so many memories. I can just remember, you know, going down the driveway to go in my little car, we'd go down the whole hill. You just remember sort of little things that you used to do. You used to go down to the beach, stop on the way, have fish and chips, and then come back here, and just one of the many things that makes you smile. My house was just up there, and right now we're going to where I used to hit a lot of balls. You know, it's just things I used to love to do. My parents first signed me up for a tennis lesson, and yeah, this is where it all started. They're going to be resurfacing the rest of the synthetic grass, so it's pretty special. Yeah, my mum used to be the one that drive me to all the tournaments, and the amount of hours that we did back and forth. And I used to be able to sleep in the car, but she had to drive me up to one tournament and then another tournament every single weekend, and geez, it's crazy, and I'm seriously grateful for them, both of them, getting me into tennis, and for me to be able to live the life that I am living at the moment.
It's been amazing, and you know, we feel like we're living it with him. To see him succeed and to have those moments, it's just been wonderful. Like, to see him go from strength to strength this year has just been a wonderful journey. Alex is very grounded as it is, and you talk to him and he's exactly what he seems to be. You know, when he's with his family, nothing changes, so he's very grounded. If he needs to be pulled in, we'll pull him in, but it hasn't been the case yet.
It's great to know that wherever I am in the world or whatever I'm doing, they've always got my back.
A truly titanic battle. Alex de Minaur has somehow prevailed.
It really helps, especially in the tough moments when you're overseas and things might not be going your way, but to know that all these guys, they have my back, and you know, wanting nothing but the best for me is always in the back of my head, and always helps me turn things around.
Love watching him play. I keep asking him to stop making it so difficult on himself and his family, and if he can just win in straight sets, it'd do us all a lot in terms of lowering our stress levels, but he doesn't listen to me.
Still to come on ATP Uncovered, Novak Djokovic. And legends look ahead. Some of the game's greats preview the 2019 season. 2018 conjured up some magic moments across all 4 surfaces on the ATP World Tour. Here's the best of the hot shots from a fantastic season.
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, how about that?
Oh, that's wonderful. Just superb improvisation there from Nadal. We know he can strike the ball, but he's a sumptuous athlete as well. word, has he won it? He has. Oh, magnificent. Now the crowd are on their feet.
I thought he made it. Did he make it? He did.
He did.
Unbelievable.
A miracle from Medvedev.
Oh, what a way to finish!
Game 7 match Zverev.
And Alexander Zverev
2 sets to love, 6-4, 6-3.
grabs the biggest title of his young career.
It was a great journey, turbulent journey as well. We took 6 months off, the second part of the 2017 season. I kind of started the year already experiencing a lot of pain in my elbow. And I was going along, didn't know, where that's going to take me, and I probably didn't address that major injury at the right time, so it was just getting worse. Everyone has had a certain major injury that they had to face. For me, it came later than sooner, which I'm very grateful for, because I had a very long career with, not much of a hindrance. I had to go on the table and choose the invasive way of treating it. And after the intervention was done, I didn't know how my body is going to react and feel. It allowed me to come back to the court pretty quickly after only, 3 weeks. But I wasn't ready to compete, and I went too soon in Indian Wells and Miami, and just experienced kind of a low state of my game in those 2 tournaments.
A career best win for Tero Daniel. He takes out the 5-time champion.
After that, going through a process of thinking and doubting and kind of encouraging myself, so a lot was going on. But there was one thing that I had to learn the most from this process was patience and self-belief that always got me going in the tough moments. I had a great support of a team around me, obviously, and I had to change the racket and alternate my serve a little bit, but at the end of the day, last 3-4 months were terrific, and it all paid off.
So this is how the ATP singles rankings stand in week 1 of 2019. In 8th, it's Dominic Thiem. At number 7, Croatia's Marin Cilic. In 6th, South Africa's Kevin Anderson. With Argentina's Juan Martín del Potro in 5th place. Nitto ATP Finals champion Alexander Zverev is 4th. With Roger Federer in 3rd place. Then it's Rafael Nadal at number 2. And leading the pack after his superb second half to 2018, it's Novak Djokovic. Now time to take a moment with Mats Wilander to preview the 2019 ATP Tour.
Borna Coric is very keen to keep changing and keep reaching for his potential. The attitude, the work ethic is obvious during the matches, but the attitude of him trying to improve, because he won on grass in Halle, beat Roger Federer. So he's understanding that the natural evolution of his game has to be to come forwards. Kyle Edmund has become big on court. His forehand is bigger these days. His serve is bigger now because his attitude is bigger. And I think with a game like that, he can break through and threaten for slams, but at times he's going to be firing on all cylinders and be tough to beat. Karen Khachanov, he has figured out how to somehow get around having a forehand that was looked upon as a weakness because of such a severe grip. Suddenly he's turned his tennis around and it's now becoming a strength. He's more aggressive with the backhand, he's more aggressive coming forwards, he serves better, and suddenly now the forehand is becoming a strength. So I think that he's going to work harder and harder and harder to get to the top of the game. These young guys, there's something fresh about them that I'm so excited about. Stefanos Tsitsipas, the one that comes to mind first, because I didn't think he was going to be ready this early. His forehand and backhand is a throwback to my days, which I love, but I didn't think he was going to come out and play this well and having beaten the best players in the world. But he has done that. He's the safest bet to be in the top 10 of all the young players. Rafa Nadal. Obviously, he's going to run himself into the ground, but I think with that style, I think he can dominate for a couple of more years. I don't think that the younger players coming up necessarily have the tools to beat him on clay, and the only threat I see is basically Novak Djokovic, and of course, he can beat him. Roger Federer, when you see him this year struggle in some of the matches, especially closing matches out or winning tight sets, I think that we see a certain stubbornness with him that I really like on the other hand. I think we saw it in the past against Rafa Nadal. He would hit too many slice backhands, get caught up in this duel between Nadal's forehand and his backhand, but he can't win that. He's now taken it to the next level where he says, well, listen, I'm going to play my way. I'm going to take it early. I'm going to miss a few backhands, but I'm not giving you any rhythm. And I think that tells me that he's not done by any means, and I prefer to see him contend at Wimbledon and especially the Australian Open every year. I don't expect Andy Murray to continue playing if he doesn't feel close to 100% physically, and I think the mental part is what he enjoys when he plays matches, but if he can't use his physicality on the court, then suddenly he's going to have to make decisions tactically that he doesn't want to make. I think the best tennis from Novak Djokovic still hasn't been on display. He's the only player that I've ever said has a chance to win the calendar Grand Slam, and obviously he's won 4 in a row. I think he can still win 4 in the same calendar year, so I think the best tennis is still coming out of him, and they will not move him out of the top. But apart from that, Nadal and Roger Federer and Andy Murray, I don't think that the younger players of 19, 20, 21, 22, I don't think they have much respect for them anymore. You must probably work really hard in the off-season. The Australian Open usually goes to the guy who's the most solid, who doesn't need to practice 4 hours a day. He always show up emotionally, physically, and he doesn't make mistakes. And then he goes, hey guys, how much work did you do in the off-season? Because if you play your best, you'll beat me. But if you're not at your best, and most players are not at the Australian Open, they won't beat you.
Australia is going to be huge for him because he won the title last year. The court's usually pretty quick. He can play his aggressive sort of style. Because it's Federer, we always put the bar so high.
You look at him or Nadal, and he seems to be the slight favorite as the greatest player that ever played the game.
For Federer, he's on 99 wins. It's a lot of expectation and anticipation for everyone to see if and when he can get that 100th title.
It'd be nice to see him get 100. It'd be amazing. To win 1 title is tough enough, and to win 100 is just out of this world.
I'm sure that he's going to win his 100th title, and he deserves it more than anyone. He's greatest ever, and no one can doubt that.
I think if Rafa's fit, then there's no doubt that he goes into the French as the clear favourite. I mean, his record there is just incredible.
Rafa, if he gets physically well again, the level is there. I mean, he's gonna be competing for Grand Slams again.
I don't know who can beat him in Roland Garros or Monte Carlo or Barcelona. What he's done, winning 11 French Open, 11 Monte Carlo, 11 Barcelona. No one, I think, in the next 400 or 500 years is going to do that.
Yeah, well, I think Sasha's already come through, but he should be stepping up. In my opinion, he's been consistent in ATP Tour events. He moves incredible for a guy who's 6'6", great serve, and I think his serve's improved and will improve even more.
Zverev, which is a great story. He's had a great breakthrough there, stepping up, winning a bigger tournament, beating Federer and Djokovic. So he's certainly one to look out for next year.
By not later than 22, 21, for sure he's going to be #1 in the world. I don't know how many Grand Slam he will win, but he'll win a few of those.
I would love to see the young guys, finally they come very strong, because it will be that so fun to see against Rafa or Roger or Novak, that it will be nice to see this kind of meetings.
Well, I think they're good kids, hard workers. And it's important we get some guys back at the top of the heap. You know, I'm hopeful that they'll take that next step or two in the next year or so.
I really want to see him back. He's the one who can do anything on the court. I'm 100% sure he's going to come back to the top 5 if he is fit.
I hope he's well. I hope his fitness is back. But that's the big question mark. Can he have that movement and fitness? It's not about his mentality. It's not about his striking of the ball. It's about his movement, and I really hope that comes back.
Next week on ATP Uncovered, 2019 heralds tournament action in Brisbane, Doha and Pune. And we've an exclusive interview with the 2018 NITO ATP Finals champion, Alexander Zverev. Don't forget to log on to atptour.com and chat with us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. See you next week.